Okay, welcome to a new week. We had a nice little stretch of Mondays here. I'm looking to bring that back on the NBA same game or NBA parlay of the night. Not going to same game parlay, although we could definitely same game parlay Spider here because it's going to be a big night for Mr. Mitchell. You in the state of Ohio know that. You bettors around the Cleveland Cavaliers know that. Doesn't matter where you are. So why not? Let's take advantage of that. Hey, welcome to the NBA Parlay video. Welcome to sports betting. If you're brand new to that, we all need a welcome in Ohio. They're the latest state to enter the fold here. And on top of all that, hit the thumbs up, subscribe. We don't ask much. We have this really cool offer for you at DraftKings I'm going to tell you all about. Don't worry. I'm going to tell you how you can build a bankroll instantly, $200. But let us begin with Mr. Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are not going to have Darius Garland tonight against the Chicago Bulls in a rematch of these two teams playing before New Year's. And happy New Year's, by the way, but I saw you all already, so it's the second now. Come on. But we saw on Saturday Kevin Love, Karis LeVert. We saw guys stepping in also without Evan Mobley. Now, it looks like Evan Mobley will be back, and that's going to give this team defensively a boost. And we already know how damn good they are on D, and especially on D at home. Chicago comes in. This is tight because the game was tight, and it's great recency bias for anybody who was paying attention to the previous game that was just played on Saturday. But that's a little different of a representation of, I think, who Cleveland is at their strength as opposed to the Chicago Bulls right now. So first leg for me is going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers laying 4 at home, knowing that Darius Garland is out, right, doubtful, but also banking on Mobley being back against a Bulls team that they shouldn't have much problem, right, much issue maybe holding them defensively. And that's kind of what they've been able to do all year. I get that. But in this case, we saw that even right down to the end with DeMar DeRozan having an opportunity to win that game and the Cavs stifling him. All right, so let's get to Mitchell here, right, because we'll spend a little bit more time on this game in the sense of what about Donovan Mitchell? Did not look great, did not look fantastic by any means in that win, that snapped the losing streak. Even more pressure on Donovan tonight to step in and take over from what we've seen, a guy who's been averaging, high 20s, 28 or so per game. I think without having Garland here, it's not like, it's easier. It's not going to be easier, especially against Chicago, but there's going to be more volume, more opportunity, and more. And I know this sounds crazy for a guy in Mitchell who probably doesn't need this in general, but without Garland, a little bit more length, leeway, if you will, to snap out. And maybe that just ties back into volume. But we like the Cavs at a good spot at home defensively with the return anticipated of Mobley and Mitchell coming through for the Cavs. All right, this line has ballooned up because for some reason the Philadelphia 76ers destroyed the Oklahoma City Thunder without anybody of note, and the Pelicans struggle, and all of a sudden you've got a 5.5-point line. I would love this to be 6 points. It's not going to be 6 points, but these two teams just played, and while C.J. McCollum went hard as a mug, you kind of have to look at the Sixers' performance and saying, all right, well, even with the return of Tyrese Maxey, they came up short. Joel Embiid had himself one, and it's not enough. The difference is that they're in Philadelphia. This hasn't been this fantastic home court that Philadelphia has experienced in years prior. So I'm looking at this with the Pelicans, who are a really good team overall and aren't dealing with anything new. And this has been a theme with the Pelicans as we've targeted the Pelicans getting more than 4.5 to 5 points. All right, who's hurt? Same story. Nothing new with Brandon Ingram. Like Zion in this matchup, think that the Sixers can be had at times where it's just Embiid doing everything. You've got way too much inconsistency outside of that. I don't know how much you're going to get from Maxey this early in his return. So I'm going to bank on the better team hanging in a closer game, getting nearly 2 full possessions here, which, again, is a little bit of a drop-off. But Sixers going to be charged up, fired up. I think momentum and all following that loss that snapped this great skid with the Clippers, and then they go and they lose to the Pelicans. Okay, you beat the Thunder with nobody. I'm not necessarily rushing to the gate here and saying that's going to be the play. That's going to be the play. All right, we'll get you the third and final play, but let me just tell you real quick how you can turn $5 into $200 instantly on DraftKings. This is as easy and as simple as it's going to get. There's a link below you. All I need is for you to click that link below, take 90 seconds out of your life to make $200 on DraftKings and free bets like instantly. So the 90-second process is clicking a link, putting in your information, linking an account, can be a bank account, PayPal, what have you, depositing $5 and only $5, and then betting that $5 immediately. Don't wait. Don't pass go. None of that shit. Just hit the $5 bet on the Bengals immediately. That's your first bet. All right? At even money. And that's going to return $200 in free bets right away. You don't even need to wait for this thing to hit, etc. Just jump on now. Why wait? This isn't one of these like, well, it has to hit type things. This is just get your ass in there and bet that $5 on the Bengals following you signing up, and you're good to go. Again, 90 seconds is how long this thing's going to take. Speaking of the return, we talked about injuries, right? Mobley in, Garland out. Oh, this is dipping, and I want to be a part of the Andrew Wiggins return. Looks as if Andrew Wiggins will be back at the time of us doing this video. And there's a really good method here for the Hawks who, without Wiggins, have a chance to stay in this game and possibly win outright. But with Wiggins returning, and I don't care if the guy plays 22 minutes, what have you, but with Wiggins returning, how Golden State has been able to play at home, that is still, despite their road issues, a home court right now. That's going to be a spot for me to attack tonight and add to this parlay. So we'll lay the 2.5. Look, if you want to just get gaudy here and lay the 145 at plus 515, that's fine with me. Let's do that, okay? Let's just do that. Cavs -4, Pelicans plus 5.5, Warriors -145. Hey, that's a plus 515 parlay. I don't want any of you sniffing your noses at that, scoffing, what have you. Maybe sniffing your noses. That they're still without Steph, right? Like, I get it, but they're still 16-2 at home. And they're getting a boost back, especially defensively. Somebody who can take some pressure off offensively. There's just a lack of trust. Clint Capella is still out for Atlanta. You need to be able to control boards if you have a shot with Golden State launching. And they will be launching. Jordan Poole, like, don't just think because Steph's out, nobody's out there launching. That's going to be the case here. The other side of it is just what you're getting up front without Clint Capella. And are you just going to rely on the Trae Young to Jonathan Collins train? Look, DeAndre Hunter may not play either. That may change this a little bit. We're just going to take the Warriors beating a better team right now. The Warriors being a better team right now and beating the Hawks. Sorry, let me clarify what I said. All right, there you have it, plus 515. We love you. Happy New Year. Appreciate you all rolling with us. Thumbs up, subscribe. You know the drill.